It's Jared from KINK. This is Kathy, who from what city?
Well, I'm from Dickey Prairie. It's a small community outside of Molalla, more cows than people.
I love that area. It's a beautiful country, right? So she won the rights to come backstage with Andrew and do some Q&A. So I'm going to get out of the way, and we're going to do some questions and answers with Hozier at the sold-out Moda Center show tonight. Take it away, Kathy, from Molalla.
So glad that you're here, Hozier.
Thank you.
Thank you so
delighted.
much.
Thank you.
So who were your greatest influences?
Greatest influences. It's a tough one. It's very broad, but there's a lot of kind of 20th century, sort of mid 20th century onward influences. Some of my early influences were like the Beatles and then, but I got into blues music quite young, so some sort of blues players. Initially, I was big into slide blues, and then songwriters like Paul Simon, David Bowie was often playing in my house, and artists like Leonard Cohen as well too. Some.
That must be why when we listen to your music we hear such a difference. Not everything sounds just like cookie cutter. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. There's definitely it's definitely an eclectic mix of influences for sure.
Yeah. So when you're not touring, I hear that you're into beekeeping.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
how'd you get started?
It was kind of it was a gift during the pandemic. I think it was a birthday gift. My folks gifted me a beehive, and it was kind of a surprise, total surprise. And it was this beautiful cedar hive, and I have a neighbor who keeps bees, who is started keeping bees years and years ago, and him and his business partner, they own a brewery. They grow hops and stuff like that. They keep bees together. So he actually gifted me then the bees, what we call like a nuke, which is a queen and a collection of bees that come with it, and a suit. And I would watch him and a few local beekeepers, and I would just watch them during the pandemic once a week. We'd check in on some hives, and you get the hang of it.
So has your hive gotten so full that the queen pushed out another one and you went and started a new one yet?
We've had a few attempted splits, where you see some queen cells. I think we had a queen move over to another hive. We've also caught a few wild hives. So we had an empty hive at one point, and a swarm just found their way naturally into it, which was super lucky. And then we've had some swarms just in the garden that we've given home to.
So is that your favorite part of the process?
I actually think the actual checking in on them, there's something very meditative and very zen about the actual process of opening a hive, which is very enjoyable. And I've good memories of spinning the honey. So myself and my neighbour, we spun the honey last summer or the summer before last, and that was wonderful. That was a good day. It was very rewarding, and he also owns a brewery, so he had very good beer on tap in his house. So we just spun honey and enjoyed a pint.
Have you run into any bears?
No bears in Ireland, sadly, anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
You need to come to Dickey Prairie. They'll like your hive.
For sure.
So you're very supportive of emerging artists. Were there artists who helped you on your way up?
I think so. There definitely were. Yeah, there definitely. I mean, I had a few wonderful support slots when I was kind of starting out, and I feel like, my work was championed by a few artists early on, and sometimes that's such a boon. I remember Ryan Tedder covered my song, like when I was really just like starting out. He covered "Take Me to Church" in his live set, and I remember seeing footage of that and just being amazed by it. I remember very early on, and this is an artist who champions musicians all the time, champions writers and new talent all the time. But Taylor Swift was sharing my music online and stuff like early on. So it definitely, I've been the beneficiary of that. Yeah.
I saw Taylor open for George Strait when she was 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Didn't know who she was going to be at that time.
Yeah. Amazing.
When did you think you made it?
I don't know if it ever comes as a. There's never one real moment. I think, and I'd still.
You want me to pinch you?
Yeah. I still question. I think you still are feeling like you. I don't know. It's tough. I never really had a moment of oh, this is what it is.
Can I tell you, I think that's one of the things that the people love about you is you don't act like you've made it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You are very down to earth, and you are fantastic.
Thank you so
Your
much.
Your music is so good.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I wish I could be a little bit more. Feel like I've made it. Yeah, sometimes.
We love it. We could listen to it all day, every day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, what's your favorite venue to play?
I think I've played here a couple of times, actually, would you believe, but in different iterations, and I've really enjoyed it. I love coming to Portland. Favorite venue to play, really good memories of playing the Barry Ballroom in New York, in the Lower East Side. It was one of the first shows I did in America, and I have very fond memories of it. Really enjoyed playing. Oh my goodness! I mean, this has been a really fun time. This is like on this tour, getting to perform in spaces I haven't, like larger venues I haven't played yet. I'm trying to think. It's a tough one.
How about back home?
Back home, there's some Irish venues that I love playing. Love playing them.
Do you ever just stop in a pub and play?
Not for a long time, not for a while, but I did. I think maybe on the last tour or yeah.
I want to be there.
Yeah, no, we should do it. I think we did a little pub session. Oh, we did actually. St. Patrick's Day in March. I was in New York. Yeah, that's right. And myself and a few musicians just popped in and we did a short set. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. So, what's your favorite song that you wrote?
It's kind of like picking a favorite child. It's very hard. It's kind of tough. You every song sort of just has to be its own self, and there's songs that you're very proud of, and there's songs but I don't necessarily have a favorite. I think on this record I have a lot of love for Unknown. There's a song called Unknown. I have a lot of love for The Selby Part 1, First Time, and there's a song called To Someone From a Warm Climate I have a lot of love for.
My biggest regret is not having an album with me right now.
Oh, very good. Well, if you do, I'm sure we don't travel with them, but I'm more than happy to sign. Thank you.
How do you feel that your Irish heritage has most influenced your music and your creativity?
Yeah.
And do you think that you might explore topics to influence that?
Yeah, I think on this album in particular, there's elements of my Irish heritage, or find their way into some of the themes of the work, and it's largely it's kind of my outlook, as informed by Irish history, and that's definitely found its way into the work with regards Butchered Tongue.
Do you think that's why you champion so many causes?
Possibly, it might lead. It might be a contributing factor into that.
I think it is.
Right.
And we love that too.
Thank you.
Is that all your questions?
No,
That's
but
all she dropped on
we
the
can't
paper
go
there?
all night.
We can't go all night. We're not allowed to.
Maybe off the record.
Oh, okay.
Maybe off the record.
Whenever you step on the stage, do you ever think of Jake and Elwood and think of the sirens coming? Maybe they're coming to get you.
Oh, Blues Brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah.
We heard you like that over and over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a VHS in the 90s.
We all are Blues Brothers fans.
I'll be fans. Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, we're on a mission from God.
Yeah, that's a film. My God, I haven't seen it in years, but when I was a kid, it was like we had maybe 2 Disney VHSs, like The Lion King and something else, and the Blues Brothers, which for some reason I was just allowed to watch at the age of 3, and I used to just watch it. Yeah. I
Well,
used to
both
watch
of
it a
those
lot.
have great music. You had to make it.
Totally, and it would have been the first time ever hearing like a lot of the artists that feature in that film, and it kind of, even though I was a kid and didn't really understand what like half the jokes or all the swear words going over my head, you know what I mean? But like I just, that music, it opened a kind of a door into, you know, and all my dad's record collection was a lot of the music that, you know, Aretha Franklin and James Brown, Muddy Waters. So it was but I might probably tonight, now that you've put that in my head. Yeah.
I was hoping that would plant that seed, and you're stepping out onto that stage and you're thinking of that music. Na, 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 na.
Yeah, totally.
It's Jared backstage with Hozier. Our thanks again to the crew for making this happen, and we'll see you on stage shortly.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.